The United States expanded a visa restriction policy on Ugandan officials to include those it believes are responsible for undermining democracy and repressing marginalized groups in Uganda, while also announcing a new visa restriction policy for officials in Zimbabwe. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken announced the visa restrictions and mentioned, among others, the marginalization of groups like the LGBT community in Uganda and civil society advocates in Zimbabwe. Blinken's statements did not name any official. Uganda's anti-LGBTQ law, considered one of the harshest in the world, was enacted in May and carries the death penalty for aggravated homosexuality, an offense that includes transmitting HIV through gay sex. In June, the U.S. State Department imposed visa restrictions on Ugandan officials after the passage of the law. The State Department also previously put visa restrictions on Ugandan officials following the country's 2021 elections, which it called flawed. Today, I am announcing the expansion of the visa restriction policy to include current or former Ugandan officials or others who are believed to be responsible for or complicit in undermining the democratic process in Uganda or for policies or actions aimed at repressing members of marginalized or vulnerable populations, Blinken said. These groups include, but are not limited to, environmental activists, human rights defenders, journalists, LGBTQI+ persons, and civil society organizers. Blinken also announced a new visa restriction policy for those he said were undermining democracy in Zimbabwe.